Greetings and hallucinations to all you folks out there. I have a 1 versus 1 for you today on the Pyramid. Now, I've casted this map several times for team games. I've never casted a 1 versus 1 on it. And it is a larger map with a lot of avenues of access, pretty diverse gameplay. So I'm hoping that this will make for a good game to watch. However, I do know that it is about an hour long. So I'm going to try to burn off a lot of it early so that we can get through this as quickly as possible. This is going to be the Red Viper as a Red Cybern, very appropriate considering his name, versus Calvarox in white UEF. That is going to be a pretty even matchup and a high-ranking one, 1600 versus 1800, and pretty close 1 versus 1 rankings. I guess the best way to do this is just going to dive straight in and try to soak up as much of this action as we possibly can. Got second air going up for the Red Viper. Huge power spam, 3 engineers out to start, 4 engineers, and then a mantis. On the southern side, we have Calvarox going first and second land. And I desperately hope third air for his own sake, because that is going to be hard to deny a bomber. Very impressed with his eco balance. He's actually doing pretty well on power. He did fast build his hydro, so that is probably why he did not stall. And we do have the early bomber out for the Red Viper, as well as 2 Mantis Scout pairs coming down. Those are probably going to try to pull engineer denial for these expansions coming out. And of course that bomber is going to wreak as much havoc as it possibly can on this base. I'm going to come down here and I'm sure find a couple of tasty engineers to pick up. I'm going to pick up one here. That is one. Not going to make it on the second one. We've got 2, 3, and a guarding interceptor here. 4, 5. My goodness. 6. Almost 7 engineers there. And 7, 8. Just on a rampage. And finally that thing is going to get shot down. This mantis is going to get taken care of, although it did kill off that engineer right there. So that is a plus. This mantis is going to evade. That is actually vetted. It did kill off a couple of engineers up here. It was going to run down. Looks like Calvarox is actually keeping up on the eco side of things, though. His expansion did not get slowed down too much. And he got he's got 1 Tech 2 Mass Extractor upgrade, and he's on the way to 2 more. That is why he is... Ooh, that is a nasty mass stall, but he is making up for it in reclaim. All of this lovely rock piles back here, those are going to float him on his way to many, many Mass Extractor upgrades. Although he is going to need to pull some magic out of his hat with these factories, because he needs more production. He went Tech 2 land, which I would say is a very good choice, but he's going to need to get some more units in the field, because you can see the spread up here. So many mantis. Already 46 mantis on the map, as opposed to Calvarox and his measly 30 strikers. And also... ooh, stupid speed. The Red Viper has way more land factories. His production is much higher than Calvarox's production. I would not be surprised if we start seeing some Tech 2 support upgrades here. And doing very well on eco. Calvarox pulling 8,700 mass reclaim. That is slightly higher than the Red Vipers, and he is pulling in more mass per tick as well. Gonna see a little jab there, trying to make some progress, but he is going to retreat. Gonna leave some wrecks on Calvarox's side, though. Hopefully Calvarox can get some engineers to the front. Right there they are, and he's going to start reclaiming that. The right side looks very weak. I do not like how this looks over here. Looks like most of the reinforcements are going to the left. while the Red Viper is sending his to the right, but we are going to see some re-evaluation of the spawn points here. Not spawn points, factory waypoints. Let's all be correct. Factory waypoints are going to get set to the right and to the center, so the units are going to begin streaming out properly. Calvarox, I can honestly say the only thing keeping him alive right now is the defender's advantage, because there are so many more units. Let's see, we've got 26 pillars and 46 strikers versus almost 200 mantis. That is absolutely ludicrous. 192 plus mantis. I don't care how many Tech 2 tanks you have. When you're talking about 190 plus mantis, they are just going to run over whatever you put in their way. And we're seeing that here. Slowly but surely the Red Viper is creeping in on Calvarox's holding. He's going to have to tech his way out of this. The Zerg are upon us. This is exactly what it does look like. This is a Zerg rush in Subcom if I've ever seen one. Got 3 Tech 2 supports and a Tech 2 HQ pushing units here. But I don't know. Calvarox is going to have to get way more production online to get out of this situation. He has less eco now, actually, than the Red Viper does, although the Red Viper is power stalling. Viper does not have as many high-tech units. He only has a few Tech 2 mass extractors, as opposed to almost entirely Tech 2 in the home base of Calvarox. But you can see the map control here. So much map control. He's still holding about 60%. He has both corners with all of those mass extractors. Although I think UEF may be about to make a comeback, because there is finally a higher concentration of Tech 2 units than Tech 1. And he did do a pretty good job of dealing with most of those mantis. But this is why there aren't units. Look at all these Tech 2 support factories. There is about to be a flood of rhinos unlike anything this world has ever seen before. We have 21 support factories. That is completely ludicrous, and he has so many. He just got done upgrading a ton of Tech 2 mass extractors. He is pulling in 208 mass per tick, as opposed to about 160 for Calvarox. The only thing that Calvarox has going for him right now is that he is UEF, and he survived the initial onslaught. Because UEF gets more powerful the higher the tech level goes in in land, until finally you end up with the Percival spam, which crushes everything. So as long as he doesn't lose, as long as he can get the tech up, he should be able to tech his way out of this situation. You can see here, he just started his first Percival. So that is going to be a huge bonus to him. Not even started a Tech 3 on the northern side. He is going to stick with producing units. So I think he will have more units for a little while to come. Got 84 84 pillars versus 77 rhinos, which is actually a little deceptive because rhinos cost a lot more mass than pillars do. So mass equivalent, there are far, far more rhinos on the field than pillars in mass cost. Got a group of Tech 1 bombers coming down here. Going to try to get some blanket damage down on these units. It's going to be pretty dang effective, and it's going to help these rhinos secure this corner. And then you can see up here, rhinos just enveloping all of these pillars and massacring them. So much more damage concentrated in a group of rhinos than there is in a group of pillars of the same size. This is not going to end well for the UEF. Now the question is, can the Red Viper follow up with engineers to reclaim? And I think the answer is yes, although Calvarox also somehow has 3 engineers up here pulling reclaim despite having completely lost. He's going to get a lot of reclaim off of those. And such a missed opportunity. Red Viper had open access to the base through this corner right here, and he completely failed to act upon it. And that gave these two Percivals, well, what used to be two Percivals until one of them died, time to get down here and point defenses, time to be built. And that is going to deny that rush. That potentially could have ended the game right there, because those Rhinos would have been right in the middle of all of the power for Calvarox, and that would have been disastrous. That is a game ender if there ever was one. Now this is something different here. Calvarox has pulled, let me see if he has RAS, has pulled Tech 3 air off of Tech 2 power generators, I do believe. He does have RAS. So many Tech 2 power generators. He's pulling in 7.7k and running T3 air. And the Red Viper is on his way to Tech 3 air, but as of yet has not reached it. Got some air scouts out for Calvarox, but no aggressive units so far. He is just going to take that leg up in ASF production and start pumping them out. We're now seeing the battlefield transition to Percivals. He's got 20 Percivals and about 26 pillars. Those Percivals are just going to demolish anything that gets in their way. And then we are going to see Tech 3 come online for the Red Viper. He is mostly pushing Tech 3 anti-air at the moment, though, so that he does not lose out too badly on air control. I think some of it is gone already. I love these new units. I know there's been a lot of debate over Tech 3 mobile anti-air and whether you should, I don't know. Some people think it is blasphemous to the spirit of Forged Alliance to add units that have not been sanctioned by GPG. But honestly, I think the unit models are good. I think the concept is good, and they are very useful units. They are able to break the stranglehold that Strat Bombers have had over this game for so long. Strat Bombers are still able to do their job and do it effectively, but you only get one pass when you're talking about mobile anti-air. Maybe two passes. You're not able to take the same 10 Strat Bombers and kill 15 different targets like you were before. Ruling the T3 air phase of the skies does not automatically win you the game in a land spam map, because you can use the mobile anti-air to cover your units, and it just opens up whole new avenues of gameplay. I am 100% for this change. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but that is my opinion on it. Red Viper has fallen behind Calvarox in eco. Calvarox has actually just turned out a Fatboy, and he's going to need to get some more power online. Nope, that is overshield upgrade. His power is going to be fine once that is over with. Red Viper is running about the same power income, is doing pretty well for himself, but is, my goodness, he's mass stalling. He is upgrading Tech 3 mass extractors like a madman. Got some flanking maneuvers going on here. If I can get a hold of my scroll wheel to where I'm not flicking in and out randomly. Gonna see these bricks come in. Not often that you see bricks have their way with Percivals, but superior numbers will get you that. So there is going to be a win in the south for the Red Viper, and then somewhat of a stalemate up here in the north for Calvarox. They had roughly even numbers of Percivals and bricks, and number for number, Percivals will win. This Fatboy is going to swing the battle on the southern side, though, although Calvarox does need to be careful not to get too close with that Fatboy, because if you get too close, the bricks will easily take out the Fatboy. If you can get a brick under the shields, it will dispatch that Fatboy in a matter of seconds, or a group of 6 or 7 bricks can take out the shield in just a few seconds as well. Bricks coming in Something that I would love to see here is the use of stealth. I'm not seeing much stealth. Bricks plus stealth will beat Percival's because the attack range is much longer than the visual range. So if you can keep stealth on them and stay away from omni coverage, you actually have a pretty good chance of defeating a superior number of bricks. Or you have a good chance of defeating a superior number of Percivals with bricks. This Fatboy is pulling some good area tonight. I'm actually surprised that it can fire over that ledge. It is hitting this hill up here. Doing a pretty good job of laying down some damage. And just going to pass behind the higher hill and kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Wasted damage right there. Nuke defense up. Did he scout a nuke back here? Is that why he's doing that? I'm not sure. That is probably preventative measures. I do not see a nuke on the southern side. Looks like nukes, or all the eco is going into combat units, and there is a lot of eco. 506 mass protect for Calvarox versus 429 for the Red Viper. So much build power coming down. I imagine he's probably about to start another air factory. And that is not something that you want to happen when you are cybering. He did not have the stealth on his ASF. Ooh. Fatboy is going to get away. If you try to engage any other faction's ASF, normally cybering will lose. They have less health, they overkill, they're just bad at their job. But if you can turn the stealth on and you can dodge and weave effectively, you can use the stealth to get the first turn to your advantage and wipe out a good third of his ASF in one sweep. That is how you have to use the stealth. If you don't turn the stealth on your Cybern ASF, you're basically throwing them to the wind and saying, I don't care anymore, I don't need air control anyway, bricks are going to win this for me. But unfortunately against UEF, I don't think it's going to go that way for you. Alright, Fatboy must be power stalling. Fatboy just lost his shield. Yes, hard power stall there. And Calvarox is going to go on the offensive. This is going to be about the first major offensive I've seen this game. He's played defensively for the last 38 minutes. He's had a couple little jabs here and there and some slight expansion, but we're seeing map-wide movement. He has finally decided that his unit advantage is big enough that he can start pushing into the Red Viper's base. He has 2 Fatboys here. He has a huge number of Percivals. A whopping 70 Percivals versus the Red Viper's 84 bricks. Holy cow, that's a lot of T3 units. But when you got 2 Fatboys in the mix, that is going to do wonders for you because they will lay down a lot of area of effect on a huge group of bricks. Down here in the south, once again, we have a winning situation for the bricks. They are just going to tear through all those units. So many bricks in one spot. Really hard to deny that. And these bricks are going to push up on these Fatboys. We're going to see these Fatboys die. I am sure of it. At least one of them anyway. No way! Yes, I am vindicated in my assessment. One Fatboy is going to go down, and unless he runs away, the other Fatboy is going to go down right here as well. Going to take a quick peek at the reclaim here because I am curious. 105,000 reclaim for the Red Viper and 110,000 for Calvarox. We're over the 6-figure mark in reclaim numbers, which is of course what you're going to see when you start waging war with 100 Tech 3 bots at a time. This is war on the largest scale. We have megaliths, we have bricks, Percivals, everything trading blows in gargantuan proportions, and it is only a matter of time before one side or the other caves under this slugfest here. And I hate to say it, but it's starting to look like the battle may be swinging back into the favor of the Red Viper. Calvarox extended outwards, and his groups to the sides got decimated by these swarms of bricks. And that is a problem, because when you extend and then get forced back, you can see all these engineers coming in to reclaim. We're going to see Red Viper's reclaim numbers go sky high. Some broadswords coming in to try and deal with that megalith. Those are going to get taken out by ASF, but this next Fatboy in the back here is going to be able to take out that megalith and then start laying down some fire towards the back here, trying to cover these units that are dying to these bricks. Percival's trying their best, knocking out 3 there in one shot, and then the broadswords are going to come in and clean up the mess that is left. Got both sides building anti-nuke as fast as they can go. The only one that's justified, though, is Calvarox. Red Viper does have a nuke launcher, which I'm assuming that Calvarox... That was a nuke launch, I believe. Yes, it was. I'm sorry I missed that, guys. That's my nuke launch detected sounder is still not working, apparently. That was a strategic launch from Red Viper towards Calvarox, and Calvarox actually got a nuke defense loaded here in his defense, and that was able to take it out. Very close call, though. And then we do have a nuke building on both sides. Megalith spam to the max. Look at how fast those things are going up. 570 solid income and 190,000 reclaim on the Red Viper side. 40,000 higher than Calvarox has, although these broadswords really making the difference. We have total loss of air control by the Red Viper, and those broadswords are just going to go to town on that megalith, eating it. So much damage, over 300 damage per second on each of these broadswords. Just absolutely ludicrous amounts of damage coming off of those. Finally going to see a swarm of mobile anti-air come in, and that is going to do a lot to sway this air fight back towards the Red Viper. Got another launch detected. Hopefully it is not headed straight back for the base, because it will fail again. It is going to go, yep, right into the nuke defense, which is almost loaded for a third time. There's no way that he is going to get a nuke in there unless he's able to snipe that defense. And up here we've got 2 Rambo comms. I really wish those would start reclaiming. I would love to see some reclaim. Though doing really well on the mass there. Calvarox swinging the battle back in his favor, pushing forward and sweeping up the reclaim behind him. He's getting up there to 240,000 reclaim, 30,000 above the Red Viper. Once again, throwing away his broadswords to ASF, though. That is problematic. And these little guys are going to scamper their way across to this Fatboy and take shelter next to it. Fatboy's about to go bye-bye, though. We've got some bricks sneaking around the backside, and I think that is going to end badly for that Fatboy. So many engineer kills. That Fatboy has 52 kills, mostly off those engineers, I believe. And yep, here come the bricks. Going under fire. His shield is just going to peel right off that Fatboy. But he is going to be able to front with some Percivals and actually keep the thing safe. That was an amazing save there. And now we're going to see these Percivals come in this side. I think this is going to be a mass donation, though. Sadly, that is not going to be enough to break the front line, but this is. We've got these units pulling in away from the Fatboy. They're going to dive straight into the front of the base. Megalith is going to do the twerk on top of this factory. I'm not sure. Maybe it's trying to imitate Miley Cyrus in the hopes that it will scare these Percivals away, but I don't think it's going to work. Percivals are going to kill the factory underneath and free it from its bondage. Far too late, though. Megalith is going to go down under a hail of Percy fire. So much damage in those things. And Wow. Red Viper saying he has never gotten into this late of a game before, and he just doesn't know what to do. And I can kind of see what he's talking about. It looks like he just lost focus. He's building Monkey Lords and Megalith and was trying for the brick spam, but it doesn't look like he had an endgame strategy other than that nuke. Just kind of throwing units forward. And Calvarox with a bit of superior micro, some stacked up Fatboys, is going to be able to overcome that. And we're going to see the final nuke at 54 minutes. He is going to bring that nuke down on the head of the Red Viper. And that is going to be the end of that. Kind of a convoluted game there, guys. And I must confess that it is almost 10 o'clock at night, and I was not completely mentally in this one. So if I missed a couple of things here and there, I do apologize. I hope you can forgive me for that. But overall, very good game by both of these players. Total slugfest. I don't think that I have ever seen that many Tech 3 bots on the field at once. That was easily 250 to 300 Tech 3 bots at one time out on the field. Well over 100 for both players. Alrighty, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will tune in next time. See ya.